It's nothing new when a celebrity is caught cheating, but a love child adds a whole new layer to the scandal. From rockers and rappers to actors and politicians, these celebs probably weren't expecting to be called dad after they ran off with their mistresses. In 2013, Ludacris became romantically involved with Tamika Fuller, despite being in the midst of a long-term relationship with a woman named Adoxie. Fuller shared her version of events in an essay for Madame Noir, revealing he told her he was newly single when they became intimate. When she learned she was pregnant, Ludacris wasn't exactly overjoyed by the news. According to court testimony reported by The Mirror, Ludacris suggested she terminate the pregnancy. Instead, Fuller welcomed their baby in December 2013. Less than 2 months after the baby's birth, Ludacris sued for full custody. In the midst of that legal battle, Ludacris and Adoxie got married. Fuller, however, contended that the wedding was a ploy to demonstrate stability in his family life. By getting married, Fuller asserted Ludacris wouldn't be forced to cough up $7,000 per month in child support. Ultimately, the judge awarded Ludacris full custody. Meanwhile, Adoxie addressed why she chose to stay with Ludacris after he fathered a child with another woman. While responding to an Instagram comment, she wrote on the site, "Many people did tell me, but I listened to my heart, and it's the best decision I've ever made." Former Senator John Edwards of North Carolina was seen as a serious contender for the 2008 Democratic nomination before dropping out of the race. A few months later, rumors began emerging that he'd fathered a baby with his mistress, Rielle Hunter, while his wife was in the midst of a very public battle with cancer. In June 2008, Edwards paid a secret visit to Hunter and their baby at the Beverly Hilton Hotel in LA. As he snuck out, a National Enquirer reporter spotted him. This resulted in a bizarre situation where Edwards panicked, ran, and barricaded himself inside a restroom. Edwards eventually fessed up to the affair, but denied fathering a child. Edwards agreed to submit to a paternity test, while also saying in a statement, "I was and am ashamed of my conduct and choices, and I had hoped that it would never become public."
There's no question that I've done wrong, and I take full responsibility.
Despite his denial, evidence to the contrary kept popping up, including the child's birth certificate. Finally, in 2010, he admitted the truth. Edwards said in a statement to NBC News, "I am Quinn's father. I will do everything in my power to provide her with the love and support she deserves." He was subsequently charged with violating campaign finance laws for allegedly funneling nearly $1 million in hush money to Hunter through his campaign. Everyone remembers Hugh Grant's 1995 arrest for using the services of a Los Angeles sex worker. Nearly as scandalous, however, is the time he fathered 2 children with 2 women within the span of 3 months. To recap, Grant's first child arrived in November 2011. Grant's rep said in a statement to People, "I can confirm that Hugh Grant is the delighted father of a baby girl. He and the mother had a fleeting affair, and while this was not planned, Hugh could not be happier or more supportive."
It was a surprise when you became a father.
We were all surprised.
The woman's identity wasn't known at the time, but was eventually revealed to be Tenglin Hong. But their affair was apparently not as fleeting as described. In 2012, he and Hong welcomed their second child. However, things became infinitely more complicated for Grant when just 3 months earlier, he welcomed another baby. The baby's mother was Anna Eberstein, whom Grant had been dating for more than a year. A source told The Sun they were pregnant with Hugh's children at the same time. It's an unusual arrangement. Whatever took place, Grant managed to smooth things over with Eberstein. They tied the knot in 2018 and welcomed 2 more children together. In May 2011, Arnold Schwarzenegger and wife Maria Shriver announced they were separating after 25 years of marriage. Days later, the reason for the separation emerged. Schwarzenegger had fathered a child with the family's housekeeper, Mildred Baena, more than a decade earlier. The actor said in a statement to the Los Angeles Times, "There are no excuses, and I take full responsibility for the hurt I have caused." A few months later, Shriver filed for divorce. The love child was eventually revealed to be Joseph Baena, who bears a striking resemblance to his dad. Like his father, Baena also developed an interest in bodybuilding and acting. He even had a very unique reaction when he learned the truth about his dad. His mother told Hello. When Joseph's grandmother sat him down to explain that Arnold Schwarzenegger was his father, he exclaimed, "Cool." In the 2023 Netflix docuseries Arnold, the actor addressed the scandal, admitting,
"And I think that I have caused enough pain
Legendary NFL quarterback Dan Marino played 17 seasons for the Miami Dolphins before retiring in 2000. In 2013, Marino, who at the time had 6 adult children with his wife Claire, issued a statement admitting that he was actually the father of 7 kids. The statement came in conjunction with a report from the New York Post, which alleged that Marino had an affair with CBS producer Donna Salvatore that resulted in a love child. According to the Post, Marino allegedly paid her millions to stay quiet about it. While addressing the birth of his daughter with Salvatore, Marino said in a statement to the Post, "This is a personal and private matter. I take full responsibility both personally and financially for my actions now as I did then. We mutually agreed to keep our arrangement private to protect all parties involved." Meanwhile, Marino insisted that his marriage remained intact despite everything that had taken place. The Hall of Famer added, "My wife and I have been married for almost 30 years and have 6 children together, and we continue to be a strong and loving family." From a musical perspective, guitarist Ted Nugent is best known for his 1977 hit, Cat Scratch Fever. However, he's since carved out a niche as a right-wing gun enthusiast. Nugent was even investigated by the Secret Service when some comments he made about then-President Barack Obama were perceived as a threat. Back in 2004, Nugent made an entirely different type of headline when he was sued by Karen Gutowski. Gutowski wanted the rocker to pay child support for her 8-year-old son, whom she claimed Nugent had fathered. Nugent acknowledged that he was the father of the boy, born in 1995, but claimed that he'd never seen the child. Suffice it to say, that acknowledgement likely sparked some awkward conversations with Nugent's wife, Shemaine, who he married in 1989. Meanwhile, Gutowski wanted a lot more than the small amount of money Nugent had allegedly been sending her, so she took the matter to court. According to UPI, Gutowski's lawyer said, "Given the fact he's worth millions and millions of dollars, he's paying the amount someone making about $20,000 per year would pay." After the dust settled, Nugent was ordered to pay $3,500 per month in child support. The story of Eric Clapton's forbidden love for Pattie Boyd, wife of his best friend, George Harrison, has become the stuff of rock and roll legend. Clapton's love for Boyd even formed the basis for what is arguably his crowning artistic achievement, the Derek and the Dominoes album, Layla, and other assorted love songs. Their love story took another twist when Boyd divorced Harrison and married Clapton. During the course of their marriage, Boyd and Clapton had struggled to have a child, even undergoing IVF treatments, but to no avail. That made it all the more painful for her when Clapton's mistress, Lori Del Santo, gave birth to their son Connor in 1986. Boyd told The Telegraph, "Because he loved me, he believed I would be pleased and happy for him that he had a baby. It was as if I was his best friend, that he could tell me everything without realizing how deeply painful this was for me." That baby proved to be the final straw for her, and they divorced in 1988. However, tragedy struck in 1991 when 4-year-old Connor was killed when he fell from the window of a Manhattan high-rise. His son's death inspired Clapton to co-write the song Tears in Heaven, which wound up becoming one of his biggest hits.
I almost subconsciously use music for myself as a healing agent.
Chuck Norris had already tasted fame as a martial arts icon when Hollywood beckoned. He would go on to star in films such as Missing in Action and Delta Force, as well as the long-running TV hit Walker, Texas Ranger.
What the hell was that? This?
In 2004, Norris released his memoir, Against All Odds, My Story. Easily the biggest revelation was that he'd cheated on his first wife while serving in the Air Force and had fathered a child. However, as Norris recounted, he remained blissfully unaware of his love child until decades later, when he received a 1993 letter from a woman who claimed to be his biological daughter. According to an excerpt of the book, Norris was both shocked and elated to discover he had a daughter. He then set up a meeting with the woman, Dina, and her mother. Norris wrote, "I didn't need DNA or blood tests. I went to her, wrapped my arms around her, and we both started crying. At that moment, it was as if I had known her all my life." In 1998, boxer Evander Holyfield and his wife Janice had recently welcomed their first child together when he made an awkward confession. During the previous year, Holyfield had fathered 2 more children with 2 different women. Those births made the heavyweight champion a father to 9 children. All those visits from the stork had clearly brought Holyfield to an epiphany about himself, as he told the Buffalo News. "It took me a long time to figure this out. How come I keep making bad decisions? How come I can make good decisions in a boxing ring, but not in my life? When I'm in training, I do exactly what I'm told to do, but in my personal life, I think that if I don't do what I want, it'll be all right. Holyfield went on to have 2 more children, ultimately fathering 11 kids with 6 different women. Welsh singer Tom Jones was married to his wife Linda from 1957 until her death in 2016. However, Jones was not always a faithful husband. In fact, he once claimed that at the height of his fame, he slept with as many as 250 women a year. When one of those affairs made headlines, his wife responded with her fists. Jones admitted in a 2015 interview with The Times, "I stood there and took it. She chinned me. She punched and shouted." Another affair with a young American woman named Catherine Berkery resulted in a son. When Berkery told Jones that he was the father, he denied it. However, a court-ordered DNA test proved his paternity, and Jones was ordered to pay $3,000 a month in child support. Still, for many years, he refused to acknowledge the child as his. Finally, in 2008, Jones conceded he was the father, but implied that he'd been conned into the sexual liaison. According to Wales Online, Jones said, "It wasn't something I had planned. I was tricked, really. I just fell for it. I just fell for the seduction." In a 2018 interview with the Daily Mail, Jones's son revealed that he'd never met nor spoken with his father.